Hi, I'm Chelsea Husum, your host of the Lip Service and Lashes podcast. I'm an entrepreneur, author, speaker, and mom of two. And I'm so tired of women not feeling like they can show up as fully expressed versions of themselves. So here, we're all about that unapologetically, because honestly, we don't have time not to. Literally, because we're busy as F moms and entrepreneurs, but also figuratively, because we don't know how much time we have on this planet, and we want to make an impact now. But if we're doing this, we're making it real vibes only. So let's get inspired, laugh our asses off, quite possibly cry, and feel like you're sitting on the couch with your bestie and a glass of wine. I'm so happy you're here. Let's dive in. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Lip Service and Lashes podcast. I'm your host, Chelsea Husum. Thank you for stopping by. All right, I'm going to talk about vacation vibes and all the randomness that comes into my brain when I think that in a second. But I wanted to share, there's a lot of times when I'm laying in bed at night, two little things that I say that I've been saying for years. Just thought I'd share it with you all in case you want to try it. We all talk about gratitude and things like that. And I feel like when you're laying in bed, falling, like trying to wind down for the night, it's just a perfect time to, think of a few things you're grateful for. And just two little sayings that I have found myself saying over the years is, I'm thankful, grateful, and blessed. That's one of them. Super easy. And then that just gets you kind of in the gratitude mindset. And then this one, I'm pretty sure I learned from Chris and Lori Harder many years ago, but it's I'm happier, healthier, and wealthier than I was yesterday. I'm happier, healthier, and wealthier than I was yesterday. So I don't know why. I just thought of those randomly, and I thought I would share it with y'all in case you want to try it. Okay, so whenever you're listening to this, the trip will have already passed, but in 3 days, my family and I are going to Mexico, to Cabo for fall break. I keep saying spring break. Apparently, I don't know what year, day, month. I have no freaking clue. I don't know what season it is. Like, story of my life, guys. But apparently, it's fall break that we are going to Cabo. And naturally, like every pretty much year if we go to Mexico, we always are going like at the exact time that a hurricane is within a day or two of like landfall where we're going. So there's that. Apparently we just really plan them well. And I have really amazing like foresight of when to plan these apparently. So hopefully the hurricane is not too bad and, moves away, and it looks like it should be gone by the time we're there. But so I just need a beach in my life. Like, I'm a beach girl. I'm not a mountain vacation. Like, mountain vacation's great, right? Like, I love going up to Breckenridge, whatever. But like, if I had a choice between mountains and beach, it's going to be a beach choice every single time. That is my vibe. So like, Bobby and I have been going, my husband, and I have been going to Mexico we've been together, 18 years. So we've been going for 18 years together. And the entire 18 years, we have so many people, and they're well-meaning, like they care, right? But they're like, it's not safe. You shouldn't go. And literally for 18 years, the travel restrictions, or what do you call them? Like recommendations, have always been heightened for Mexico, right? And I get that. Okay. There's some really crazy shit that happens. Like, really, you hear about these like random things that happen. Okay. So, but what I'm also going to say is I could literally walk out of my house tomorrow and get hit by a bus and die. I could get struck by lightning. I could go downtown Denver, which I've lived here since 2005, and back in the day it was pretty safe. It's not anymore, friends. It's not. Just gonna say, there's some crazy shit going on down there in downtown Denver. So I could easily go get shot, or get hit by a car, or do some random thing happen to me in Denver. Or my husband's from south of Chicago. Like, I don't even remember the number, but it was like 30 people a few weekends ago were shot. Like, innocent bystanders, like ridiculous amounts of people were shot by gangs and stuff. Okay. So I'm saying that while, yes, there are crazy things that potentially could happen in Mexico, there are also crazy things that very likely could happen right in our backyard in the city you live near. Right. So it's like, I'm not going to live my life in fear. So we like I said, we've been going to Mexico for 18 years. It's freaking amazing. We have never felt unsafe. We have had fantastic vacations, the kindest people, just awesome. Okay? Like freaking awesome. And I am going to live my life. I don't live my life in a fearful way. I live my life. So here's the deal. If it's my time to go and like that some crazy ass shit happens when I'm on the beach in Mexico, then I guess that was my time. And at my funeral, they can say, well, I guess she was living her life and she wasn't scared hiding under her bed, you know? So I just, while the world, I feel like now more than ever, it's a freaking scary ass place out there, people. Oh my God. That's a whole nother topic, which I don't talk politics, but wow. I could go on forever. But people, as a society, we always just like focus on the scary part, the bad part, right? But it's like you could find the scary part, the bad part for anything in life, right? So I'm still gonna go. I'm gonna live my life. I'm gonna, in case you were wondering, because maybe you were, my husband and I and my two children are not going to buy drugs in an alley in Cabo at night. Okay, so there's that. Let's just put your mind at ease. Also, I'm not wandering around at night out and about. I will be happily in my probably the pool or the bar at my all inclusive resort, which is fantastic. So we're not like going crazy places at night. I'm not trying to do crazy shit like buy drugs or God knows what. So it's just about being smart. Okay. So if you hear this and I have been like, something happened, well, this is my last, my last little rambling. And, I was living my life and be like, you go, girl. Okay. So there's that. Also, every time I work, like I've had my company since March of 2020. I had an assistant for a short period of time, but still she only did like a very, very small amount of things. And I always work on vacation. I don't get quote paid time off ever. I don't get time off, like the actual, I'm going to do air quotes here, time off. So I don't get time off. I work on every single vacation. And I'm sorry, I'm like, have this freaking, I'm going to be clearing my throat a lot. I'm trying so hard not to, but it's super annoying. I have this like shit that won't go away. So I got my tea here. Anyway, I work on every vacation because I have to, because I'm literally the person that runs the whole company, minus my guys in the field. But I will say, it's not like I'm over here going, oh, boo-hoo, poor me. I'm not like playing the victim. I'm not trying to say this to like make y'all feel bad for me. I've really, while it is never perfect, I've really dialed it in pretty good to like have a good mix of, I truly do enjoy my vacation. I don't sit there and work 8 hours a day and then go enjoy my vacation. So I might work at the pool. I might work before my kids get up. I might, I work a little bit here and there and I work really hard when I do. And then I go float in the pool or I go snorkeling or I go do whatever. So I'm used to that. I've worked in Italy for 10 days with the time change, guzzling, what are they called? How did I forget? A spritz. The spritzes, y'all know what I'm talking about. Why can't I think of this right now? But, I did it with the time change in Europe, like made it through. The last time though, I will say, that I was in Mexico, it was a couple years ago. I woke up, it was on, let's say, I think it was like a Thursday morning, and it's 7 a.m. And I'm like, oh shit. Oh shit. I forgot the day before. I must have been having fun and just like vibing and like I'm on vacay mode. And I forgot like I own a company and like have to do stuff and schedule work for the next day for my employees. So I had totally forgot to email them their jobs on Wednesday for Thursday morning. And in construction, we start at 7 a.m. or before, sometimes 5 a.m. they're on a site. So I was like laying in bed and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot. And they had all these, they had jobs, and I was like texting them like, oh my gosh, please get ready. I'm sending your jobs here in a minute. And I had to, call or email the clients like, they're on their way. I'm so sorry. So I definitely had like a major lapse of judgment a couple of years ago. And yeah, like totally forgot that I work. I don't know. I must have thought I won the lottery or something. But yeah, so that was kind of funny. I was like, oh, whoopsies. So I'm really, really mentally trying to make a mental note for this vacation to not do that. So fingers crossed, send prayers, and let's hope that that happens. Okay. Also, like I said, my brain just goes all these places. When this was really funny, my husband, God, he just puts up with me like I'm an absolute psycho and I do weird shit, and he just like lets me go. He loves me. He just lets me go. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry for you. So many years ago, we were in Mexico, and I think we were by like Playa del Carmen or something. And number one, I will say, I hate touristy shit. I hate it. I don't do it. I don't like, we've never actually gone on a cruise because in my heart, it's like, okay. And I have a lot of friends that love cruises, I will just say, and they think we're crazy for just like refusing to go on them. But it's like, okay, the cruise ship pulls up, let's say in Cozumel. Okay, well, it's 9 a.m. You have till 5 p.m. to go explore Cozumel. Okay, for me, no, because all you're not going to have time to actually do anything like truly exploring the culture or the people or the town. All you're going to see is like the first few things that they throw at you that's really touristy, that to me, it's just not my vibe. So I hate touristy stuff. So many years ago when we were in Playa del Carmen, we were wandering around. I think it was almost Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos, which I freaking love. If you could see my house right now, I love Halloween. Like I've always been obsessed. And I also am now equally obsessed with Dia de los Muertos because I was a Spanish teacher and I just love the culture, all that. So we had like wandered around town. There's all these altars and I'm like, oh my God, they're so cool. And I'm like taking pictures and all this stuff. And then I'm like, oh my God, babe. He says, what? There's a cemetery right there. And I'm like, we got to go in. And not being disrespectful, but like I could see that people were in there prepping for Dia de los Muertos. So they go in before November 1st and 2nd, which is the Day of the Dead. November 1st is for the souls of little children, and then November 2nd is for souls of adults. They come back and visit you. So the culture is they go in and they're cleaning the grave sites and they're repainting them or making them look really nice. And then they're setting up the marigold flowers, which is to say like it leads the way for the soul back to them. And they are setting up the altars, and they literally on the nights of November 1st and 2nd, they throw massive parties in the cemeteries. They're playing music. They have food. They're fireworks. I mean, it's just like amazing. So I was like, oh my God, I see people in there prepping. And so we're walking around and seriously like a pig in shit. Oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever seen. So we're walking there. Then I also so we're out of the main touristy area of Playa, let's say. Pause. Sorry. Okay. Then I'm like, oh my God, there's a local market. Naturally, I go in and they have all this really cool stuff like sugar skulls and stuff for Day of the Dead. So I buy all this really cool stuff and we're looking around and I look over at my husband and he looks a little ill. He looks a tad green in the face. And at this point we're standing in a meat market, but there it's all like the meat is hanging out in the open air. It's not refrigerated. And so yes, it stinks. We in the US are not used to that, right? It'd be like, oh my God, look at all the rules being broken, blah, blah, blah. And this is just the way they do it. So he's like, hey babe, I gotta go outside. Like this is kind of making me sick to my stomach. Just do your thing. So whatever. I had a giggle and I'm like, I'm sorry. Look at the things you do for me. You're such a good husband. So I definitely, we also like this trip, we're going to take our kids. I love the little town of San Jose del Cabo. Cabo, like the big town is kind of cool for like an hour. It's cool to see the big marina with all the really fancy boats and stuff like that. But like the town of San Jose del Cabo is smaller and the last time we were there was an art walk by local artists and just all these really cool cultural things. So I definitely plan to wander around that town with my kids to show them kind of more of that stuff. But I'm always a slight psycho when I go to Mexico because I love it and I love the culture and I love the people. Oh, also, I will say, if you know me or if you're watching on a video thing right now, YouTube or Spotify, I have long blonde hair. Okay. So this went back many years ago when I was studying in Ecuador. I would stand out like a sore thumb. Like on a bus, I would be literally the only person with blonde hair on an entire bus. They all had dark hair and everyone would be staring at me. Or little children would look at me and scream and run away. Okay. I'm not making this up. It happened more than once. Okay. So I think like people just I stand out with my hair. Okay. But the funny part is I can speak Spanish and I used to be a Spanish teacher. So I do know a lot. And right now I will say my Spanish skills are probably equivalent to a 3-year-old little child. I mean, it's all in my brain. It's all in there. And it just somehow comes out, but I probably make a lot of mistakes at this point. But really when I like start speaking Spanish, I don't even know. It just comes out and I'm not even thinking and it's just like blah out, which is kind of cool. But every time I go to Mexico and then I, want to speak Spanish, people they always look at me and like cock their head and they're like, and they respond back in Spanish like, oh, I didn't know you knew Spanish. So it's always funny to see people's faces and they look at me like, wow, I did not see that coming. But anyway, if you're taking any trips the rest of the year, I hope you're safe wherever you go. But let's just remember, like, we don't live in fear. Like that's not how you want to live your life. I'm not scared. I'm not going to yes, if it's an actual legit like war zone, I'm not going there. Of course, people, come on, I'm not stupid. But like I said, we've been hearing this warning about Mexico for 18 years. Hopefully it is just like every other time we've been there, freaking amazing and fantastic. And we are welcomed and wonderful people and super safe. But, again, if you were, whenever your time is up on this earth, like, do you want it to be sitting on the couch watching TV or do you want to be out living your life? So I just challenge you. Everyone does the whole doom and gloom stuff, but go live your life, be safe, have fun, but go live your freaking life. Okay, friends? All right. Well, hopefully this is not the last thing you ever hear me say because I, make it through and it's fantastic. So thank you all for coming. If you love this, share it with a friend. If you love it, please consider leaving a 5-star review on Apple. I appreciate you all. And always remember, no BS, just real vibes. I'll see you next time on Lip Service and Lashes. If you loved the episode, share it on Instagram and tag me so I can say thank you and meet you. Or share it with a girlfriend who you know would love this too. Always remember, no BS, just real vibes. See you next time on Lip Service and Lashes.